9:30 Eastern Daylight Time, Wednesday, the 12th of July. Discover and Recover Yoga is underway. I've got my Elton John shirt on, his Yellow Brick Road tour coming to an end. I think it ended in Stockholm, Sweden. Recently, I had a chance with my partner Paula to see him in concert last April, in a year. And it was a concert to be remembered and reckoned with. Quick story about Elton John. It was about 6 or 7 months dry. And there's no sobriety, no serenity in my life. At 6 or 7 months in Atlanta, I was attending a men's meeting at a clubhouse in Atlanta called the Triangle Club. So I was just getting my feet wet into this thing called Alcoholics Anonymous. And man, I was in a miserable state. Just this dryness was not very helpful to me or my then spouse. And so anyway, this men's meeting only had about, would get maybe 10 to 15 guys showing up on a Thursday at noon. I came in a few minutes late and I kind of glanced just in front of me a few rows and I saw this fellow with this fancy like leopard skin pants on. And I was looking and I was like, so kind of wild. And then I looked at the shoes. I was like, man, those are some wild shoes. Anyway, I was in the back of the room. So the chairperson, as they do regularly in these recovery meetings, the chairperson started to ask if anybody needed a start over token, if anybody had 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and so on. And then the chairperson asked for either a year or multiple of years in continuous sobriety. And this fellow raises his hand. He goes, hello, my name's Elton, 3 years today. Elton John, sitting a few rows ahead of me in this meeting. And oh my gosh, we're all trying to be so cool. All the other 10 or 12 guys and just checking it out and just like, wow, Elton John in the meeting, getting his 3-year anniversary token, breaking his anonymity. He's done that. He's an international rock star, so everybody knows that. But whatever I shared in that meeting, I know that at that time in that state of dryness, I had self-pity pouring out of every pore, oozing out of every pore of my body. It was not a pretty thing. Hell, I would have divorced myself too. But this guy, Elton, comes past me on the way out of the meeting. He says, Neil, you take yourself too bloody seriously, lighten the fuck up, and walked out. So my Elton John story still resonates, 30 years later, 29 and a half years later. Glad you guys are here. Thank you for zooming in, whether it's live or you're checking this out at some other point. I'd also like to pause in this moment. This is a sheet of paper I have. Every once in a while, I pull up, articles of interest or sayings or quotes. This is from an inscription on a desk plaque of Dr. Bob Smith, one of the co-founders of Alcoholics Anonymous. Dr. Bob Smith, the other co-founder, Bill Wilson. Can you believe that? We got a Bob Smith and a Bill Wilson. Really, you couldn't come up with some more unique individual names, but that's who started this whole process back in the 1930s, and it's been described as one of the most powerful spiritual movements of the 20th century. So this is how the inscription reads on this desk plaque for Dr. Bob Smith. Humility is perpetual quietness of heart. It is to have no trouble. It is never to be fretted or vexed, irritable or sore, to wonder at nothing that is done to me, to feel nothing against me. It is to be at rest when nobody praises me and when I am blamed or despised. It is to have a blessed home in myself where I can go in and shut the door and kneel to my Father in secret, where I can be at peace, as in a deep sea of calmness when all around and about is seeming trouble. Let that marinate for a moment. I've been sharing that this week with other students in other sessions. Powerful example, a powerful idea around the concept of humility. Please, DNR yoga folks, let's find our way to child's pose. We'll shift here from my support. Bring my camera down. Just a gentle reminder again of some props. Here's a yoga blanket. No, here's a yoga block. Here's a yoga blanket. It doesn't have to be the yoga blanket. It can be any blanket. Great props for helping us on our path. I love this. It's a meditation cushion. You can use a pillow. I like it because it's a little firmer. So just gentle reminder about some props. Now in child's pose, let the big toes touch towards the back of the mat, draw the knees out wide, sink the hips back, and let go. Child's pose. So that's the position. We were finding ourselves into child's pose. Let the knees start to soften, let the hips open a bit. I'm going to move the head from side to side. My forehead nestles to the surface of the mat. That's just that little massage of the third eye right there between the eyebrows, right above the eyebrows. Option is inhale, lengthen through the fingertips just a bit more to the front of the mat. But as you exhale, let's take all 10 fingertips to the right side. So that gets that left hip to be a little heavy towards the left heel. Option is to float this right arm down by the side of the body. Maybe bend the right elbow. Bring the right hand to the low back. Maybe it nestles at the lumbar. Maybe it comes up towards the mid back. It's a little bit of a shoulder opener as we hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now on 1, I'm going to sweep this. If that right arm is back, I'm going to sweep it to the front. Take it, everything over to the left side. So right hip is heavy towards right heel. We've been here before. Left arm can float down by the side body. Maybe the left elbow bends and you have that back of the left hand connecting to the lumbar, to the mid thoracic spine. Ooh. Hold steady for 3. Breathing into that for 2. All right, now on 1, let's come back to center. Beautiful. Reset, maybe a little shoulder shimmy. Big breath in, big breath out. All right, let's inhale, come up to table. For me, that means I need to draw my knees back underneath the hips. I'm going to realign wrists and shoulders. And then from this position, I'm going to draw my hips towards my heels. I find hero's pose. For some, this is uncomfortable. Here's a trick. That blanket can go between the hamstrings and the calves. Great variation. A pillow, same thing. Perhaps if you have a book or a block, that block can be at its highest height, setting the bum on the block at the highest height, maybe mid-height, or some will let that block go all the way to the bottom. So please, in this position, we'll call it hero's pose, hands to the heart center. If there's a purpose for this practice, what we are discovering, humility. How can we manifest that in this thing called life? I've still been, on occasion, sometimes that, well, early on in the process of recovery, the confusion between humility and humiliation. And when I work with newer folks in the program, they sometimes confuse. They get a little confused. They are absolutely have nothing to do with each other. Humility is, again, that perpetual quietness of heart. So at the Heart Center, if there's another purpose, another idea, another concept you'd like to set in motion, in thought, at this juncture of the practice, please send some love, some light out to somebody in your midst who may be struggling. Check in with that breath. We know how we focus on the breath. Just be really mindful of the inhales and exhales. If you haven't already, we'll transition to nostril breathing, in through the nose, out through the nose. Purpose for that is to build lung capacity, to build lung endurance. Okay, here we go, DNR folks. We're floating back to table. Very simple. If you have any props, you can let them release. From hands and knees, I'm drawing this right knee out like a dog on a fire hydrant, and I'm rotating. I'm going to circle that right leg. And for me, I'm going forwards at first. Yeah. So that's going to be that right hip flexor. I'm going to think about that right foot flexing. Nice, as we circle for 4. Here's 3, 2, and then 1. Now please reverse it. Circle the other way. You can start to straighten that leg if you'd like. Hello, right hip. Right hip here is 3 years old. Here's 4, 3, 2, and then on 1, you're back to neutral. I'm going to switch sides so you can see the left leg. So back to hands and knees, neutral tabletop. Left knee comes out like a dog on a fire hydrant. And here we go. We're rotating of the left hip. So this is the one that's about 4 months old, 5 months old. January 3rd. Here we rotate. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and then 1 reverse. 4, 3, 2, and then yes, you're back to neutral. Okay, whatever little reset needs to take place, I'm switching sides so you can see it a little better, because now this right leg comes out from the side. Yeah, so I have right hip, right knee, and right ankle in relative alignment. Wrists and shoulders remained aligned. On an inhale, this right arm goes towards the ceiling. So think about left arm at 6 o'clock, right arm at 12 o'clock. And as you exhale, thread that right arm through. Inhale, lift, and lengthen. Exhale, we thread through. Inhale, we rise. So that's the flow. Inhale, we open up. Exhale, we thread. Here we go for 4. Breathing into that for 3. Almost there for 2. Last one. We lift. And as we lower, we're back to this position. Option is to lower, start to lower left hip towards left heel. Now, for some that might not be available, that's okay. You can keep that left hip lifted. Option now, whether the hip is lifted or the hip is to the heel, right hand to right shin, right ankle, maybe the right foot. Left hand might float over there as well. So that's a little bit of I'm trying to maintain this hip, knee, and ankle. And so that's a big stretch. If it's just the right hand on that leg, that's absolutely fine. We'll hold for 3, breathing into that for 2. All right, eventually, friends, coming back to hands and knees. Okay. Switching sides so you can see. Left leg, same thing. I've got that left foot at a bit of an angle. I got some people might want to try to keep that left foot in alignment with the parallel with the long edge mat. Not so for me. All right, left hip, left knee, left ankle. Left arm lifts. So build the space. Think about right arm at 6 o'clock, left arm at 12 o'clock, and then thread it through on the exhale. Inhale, we lift, and exhale, we twist. Great way to warm up the spine. Here we go for 4. There's 3, 2. Last one. As you lift up, let's lower left wrist and left shoulder. Get yourself reset. You guessed it, right hip might lower towards right heel. If it doesn't go all the way, that's fine. Left hand makes it over to left knee, left shin, left ankle. Maybe the right hand floats over there as well. So big stretch here as we hold. But any residual tension, any unnecessary stiffness, tightness, let it release from the body as best you can for 3. It's almost there for 2. Now, please, on 1, gently come back to table. There's a neat cut. Inhaling for cow, exhale for cat. Keep going. I'll call this out. We'll go for 5. So in Portuguese, that I'm trying to learn through Duolingo. Here we go for 4. Cow is vaca. That is gato. So inhaling for vaca. Exhale for gato for 3. Breathing steady into that for 2. Oh, yeah. Eventually, we're back to neutral. So all is well in hands and knees, on hands and knees. Opportunity now is to tuck the toes, lift the hips, our first downward dog. So transitioning, lots of transitions ongoing in this space that we're living in now, this time, transitions, shifting, new jobs being started, new relationships beginning, old relationships ending, births taking place, deaths taking place, people moving from one part of the country to the other. So shifts and transitions are ongoing. Inhale to the tiptoes. And as you exhale, it's bend the knees, stack the shoulders above the hips, shoulders above the wrists, floating tabletop. Nice. We'll hold for 3, Breathing into that for 2. That 1, hips high, heels low, downward dog. I know some students have some flexion issues with their wrists, so they would be doing downward dog from the fists. So that makes the wrist, that straightens the wrist out. If you have flexion issues with the wrist, let's go once again. Inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, let's rehover the shins. Restack the shoulders above the wrists. We'll hold for 3. Nice. Breathing steady into that for 2. Now 1, once again, hips high, heels low, downward dog. Okay. Last version with a little bit of an add-on. Inhale to the tiptoes. Exhale, let's refloat in table. Staying on the ball of that left foot, right leg extends back. That's a lot harder as you hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. That 1, ball of the right foot finds the mat, left leg extends back. Hello, right leg. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. That 1, ball of the left foot comes back. Relift the hips, relower the heels, and let that little momentum start to walk you backwards, standing forward fold back in a minute. Keys fingers matter, palms to shins, let's half lift. Exhale, please condense back to the fold. One more time. Palms to shins, maybe peace fingers mat, half lift. Draw the crown of the head to the front of the mat. Think about lengthening from the crown of the head to the tailbone, and then fold it back here. Arms around like wings, reverse swan dive is going to take us to standing. Oh, my head's cut off. I'll adjust. Palms meet above the crown. Give yourself a hand. And then to heart space. Ooh, hello, heart center. We know what happens at the heart center, all the wonderful stuff. Kindness, compassion, empathy, tolerance, patience, forgiveness, but ultimately love. It's what emanates from that heart space. Beautiful, guys. Yeah. So there's a little adjustment. So got this t-shirt. I think the t-shirt was like $60. I can't remember. Crazy. Heart center. Weight is going to shift to this. Let's see. What are you going to do? No. I just lost track of my little flow. Let's shift the arms wide and high. So you're in an extended mountain pose. You might widen the stance just a bit. I'm going to have this right hand grab that left wrist, side bend to the right. So in this opening along left side body, I'm going to purposely press into that left foot and draw the right toes over. Now, we're in a bend, we're in a bind. You have the opportunity to balance as you flex that right foot, or just draw the right foot off of the mat. So I'll call it triple B, bend, balance, and bind, as we hold here for 3. Yeah, coming out of it. Yep, if you need to touch down, that's wonderful. Just do the best you can. We'll hold for 2. Nice. Now on 1, let's come back. Right leg lowers, and then just release the hands out and down. So let's, we've been revisiting again and again, mountain pose. Minimizing that forward head tilt. Thinking about the power of this posture, Tadasana. Maybe the toes lift, can maybe spread the toes wide. Doesn't work for me, I've been working on it. Eventually the toe pads back to the mat, inhale, it's lift. Extended mountain pose, you guessed it, left hand grabs right wrist, side bend to the left. Okay, hollow right side body, weight is into that right foot, left toes over. Okay, we're bending and we're balanced, or we're bending and binding. Now we might balance by flexing that left foot or just drawing the left foot off of the floor. Touching down is wonderful as we continue this process for 3. Nice. Hello, almost there for 2. All right, now come back to center and then release the hands out and down. Mountain pose. I'm going to take this right hand to my low back. My left wrist is going to grab my right wrist, and I'm drawing that right arm over towards the side. So I've got it looks like this, even though this is my left arm. It's going to pretend to be like your right arm because I'm mirroring you guys. Now in this position, I'm going to purposely draw left ear to left shoulder. Left ear to left shoulder. So hopefully that stretch along the right side of the neck feels comfortable as I draw that right arm over a little further. We'll hold for 3. Let the breath flow like water. Thank you, Rolf Gates, for that visual. For 2. Now please relax. Maybe that right shoulder needs a little TLC. Okay, same thing other side. Left hand to the low back. Right hand grabs that left wrist. I'm drawing that left arm over. Yeah. Okay, I'm drawing right ear to right shoulder. Hello, left side of the neck. Maintain super grounded into the floor. We'll hold for 3. Keep that right shoulder low. Mine wants to pop up a little bit. Almost there for 2. Nice. Now please release. Yeah. Left shoulder might get some love. So does the right shoulder. To maybe shimmy it out. Ooh, there's some popping. So you're still at the back of the mat. I'll join you at the back of the mat. We've got this large expanse of real estate to work with. Let's sweep the arms wide and high, maybe a little baby back bend. Nice. And as you exhale, swan dive, flat back, forward fold. Keys, fingers your mat or palms to shins. Let's half lift. Draw the crown of the head forward and then fold it back in. Now let's let the fingers do the walking to the downward dog. Fingers do the walking, downward dog. All is well. You're in the upside down V, hands at shoulder distance, feet about hip distance. I'm pressing my chest towards my thighs. I might internally rotate the eyes of the elbows towards the middle of the mat. You might feel an extension or an expression in the shoulder blades, but eventually right leg lifts on an inhale. And then I'm going to bend that right knee in an attempt to stack right hip on top of left. You might check out that right ankle as you see it underneath the left armpit. Beautiful, guys. Inhale, re-straightens that right leg. Then as we exhale, we're going to draw that right foot to the top of the mat and lunge. Okay. Now, I'm going to suggest that you lower that left knee, flatten that left foot. Okay. Right forearm underneath right thigh, left forearm underneath right thigh, and we bind. It's going to be a little silly bind. If you want to intensify this, left toes curl under, left knee lifts. I'm going to purposely keep the left knee lowered and just keep that left foot flattened as we hold here for 3. It's chest towards thigh, breathing into that for 2. That one, release and sweep the arms wide and high. So super supported in this lunge, but eventually I'm going to take my left elbow to my right thigh and my right arm backwards. Left elbow to my right thigh, wherever it lands on that right thigh. And eventually I'm going to sweep this right arm forward to connect to my left palm. So maybe being aware of where the thumbs are in relationship to the sternum, will hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now let's untwist, frame that front foot. I'm going to start to heel toe this front foot forward. And I'm going to flex that front foot. Hello, hamstring. So that is a huge. Now, some will take that left hip and draw it towards the left heel, like so. If that works, great. If not, I'm going to tell you right now, blocks on either side of the body, that's a great tool, a great prop to support you in this hamstring stretch. Now, eventually, I'm going to take all 10 fingertips to the outside of the right leg. That's going to open up that left side body. I can feel the obliques totally fired up on the right side as we hold for 3. Nice. Breathing into that for 2. Nice. Now on 1, come back to frame that right foot, rebend the right knee. Left toes curl under, left knee lifts. Let's bring this right foot back, downward facing dog. So I'm going to adjust the camera. Downward facing dog. Nice. When you're ready, inhale, that left leg lifts. 3 limb. And then I'm going to bend the left knee and attempt to stack left hip on top of right. Try to keep the shoulders relatively square to the top of the mat. Who knows? Underneath that right armpit, I might check out that left ankle. Now let's go ahead, re-straighten the left leg, and then to the top of the mat we go. Okay. Left foot is forward, right foot is back, right knee lowers. Right foot flattens. You guessed it, left forearm underneath left thigh. Right forearm underneath left thigh. Build that funky bind. Intensify it if you like. Right toes curl under, right knee lifts, but I'm going to keep it low. We'll go for 3. Nice. Maintain the bind, almost there for 2. Now, please, let's release, sweep wide and high. Okay, eventually, right elbow to the left thigh, left arm back. Right elbow to left thigh. Think about that right palm holding a tray of drinks, left palm to come and meet it. What's this happening? Again, if you want to intensify this, right toes curl under, right knee lifts as we hold for 3. That's breathing into that for 2. Now, please, on 1, untwist. We're framing that left foot, and you guessed it, I'm heel toeing this left foot forward. Flexing the left foot, and here we go. We are in a hamstring stretch. Opportunity, right hip draws towards right heel. Okay, here we go, DNR peeps. Let's take both hands over to the outside of that left leg. Opening up that left side body. Hello. Right side body, hello, obliques. Gosh, that feels pretty good there in the obliques. We'll hold for 3. Nice breathing into that for 2. All right, reframe that left foot. Rebend that left knee. Let's do this. Right toes curl under. Right knee lifts. Let's bring this left foot back to downward dog. Revisiting downward dog. Once again, the right leg lifts. On the exhale, I'm going to bring the right foot between the thumbs. We'll get a low lunge. Okay, now from this low lunge, I'm purposely picking up my right toes. I'm pivoting on that right heel to the left side of the mat. So you'll see my little bald spot on the crown of my head. So we have wide-legged forward fold. Some yoga teachers will say the feet need to be parallel to the shoulders of the mat. I'm going to say not so. Maybe there's a little slight angle to the feet. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. Let's take that right hand to the floor, left arm to the ceiling. So we have this wide-legged forward fold twist, and then release, left hand down, right arm lifts. Nice. Bringing it back down one more time. Right hand underneath the chin, left arm goes high. Back down, left hand down, right arm lifts. Nice, and then back down. Beautiful, guys. I'm going to suggest you heel toe the feet in a little closer. Left hand to left hip, right hand to right hip, and let's rise on up. So we're in this one, like my head's partly cut off. Heel toe the feet into wherever's comfortable, and let's find our squat. So oftentimes called yogi squat, goddess squat. Let's see if I can get those knees to travel over the tops of the feet. Arms come out like wings. Now let's do this. As I exhale, I'm taking this right arm low, left arm high. Right arm low, left arm high. Inhale, we'll come back out like wings. Exhale, left hand low, right arm high. So that's our little flow. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to bend. Nice. Beautiful, guys. We'll go for 4. Okay. Breathing steady into that for 3. Really reach through those digits. 2. Last one. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Let's start to straighten the legs. Heel toe those feet. Back to center. Oh, yeah. Sorry, my head's cut off again. Beautiful. Mountain pose. And you just go ahead and find your way back to the top of the mat. Breath in, breath out. Establish your purpose, your desire for this practice, coming into this motion, to this posture. Again, mitigating the forward head tilt. Soften the throat, soften the jaw. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms wide and maybe a little baby back bend. Here we go. Swan dive from the top of the mat, flat back, forward fold. Guess what? When we're down here, peace fingers are matter, palm to shins, half lift. Exhale, fold it deep. I'm going to bend the knees deeper. Bring my fingertips or palms to mat, downward facing dog. Okay. So depending on where you are on the mat, let's go ahead, left leg lifts. And then from 3, land left foot to the top of the mat, lunge. However you want to get the left foot up there. You might have to do it with the right knee down. But from this lunge, let's lift the left toes, pivot on that left heel over to the right side of the mat. You most likely will be in the same spot you were a moment ago, wide-legged forward fold. From here, suggestion is take the right hand to the left, right shin, right ankle, maybe the right foot, and float the left hand over there as well. So now we're kind of hovering over that right thigh. Now back to center. You get it. Left hand finds left shin, left ankle, left foot. Right hand floats over there. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. All right, back to center, please. Nice. Let's heel toe the feet in a little closer. Right hand to right, left hand to left hip, right hip, and rise on up. Heel toe it in for where you feel comfortable. Let me adjust the camera again. Where you feel comfortable. And that's just 5-point star. So the arms are going to come out like this in the V shape. So the legs and the arms are the 4 points of the star. Proud of the head is the 5th point. Nice. Inhale, lengthen a bit more. On the exhale, draw the hands to the hips and just begin that forward fold. Flat back, forward fold. Once you come about 3/4 way down, let's release the hands back to the floor. Let's bend the knees and just get a little. I'm going to suggest it's like a figure 8. You're just moving the hips, a little figure 8 position. You might a little figure eight shape. You know, if it doesn't work figure eight, you can just do circles. Nice. Beautiful. We'll keep, and remember to switch sides. So taking it side to side. Let's go for 4. Switching sides regularly for 3. It's almost there for 2. Beautiful. Now on 1. Let's go ahead and heel toe the feet back in to center to about hip distance. You're still facing the elongated mat, peace rings mat, palms and shins half lift. Exhale, fold it deep. Reverse swan dive will take us to standing. Palms meet above the crown again. Yourself in heart center. Okay. Journey back to the top of your mat. But I'm going to still face the camera. Weight's going to shift to this right foot. I'm going to externally rotate this left hip and find the kickstand version of tree. The kickstand version of tree where I have the ball of that left foot connected to the surface. Wonderful variation for modification. Otherwise, I'm sliding that left foot up to right ankle, right calf, or the inside of the right thigh. Anywhere but the inside of the right knee. I love this cue is to press purposefully into that right heel. I lift the toe pads slightly for just a moment or two, and then the toe pads come back to that surface, but I super have a strong connection of that standing leg and that heel to the mat. And I'm not going to dump into this right hip. So I'm going to really engage this right hip to stack on top of right knee, right ankle. Arms do whatever they want to do. Classic tree pose. Beautiful. Holding that steady. Closing the eyes, changing the gaze. We call it drishti. If you'd like to challenge the central nervous system as we hold for 4. Yep. Strong trees still sway. Breathing into that for 3. You guys almost there for 2. Now let's do this. Draw that left knee forward and let's can opener style. So I'm going to do the best job I can to draw this knee in. Find that balance, pressing into that right heel. Now let's extend this left leg long. Who knows where it may go low, it may go medium, it may go high. Beautiful. We'll hold for 3. Arms wherever they want to go. Breathing steady into that for 2. Oof. On 1 that's lower. That is my right leg. It's your left. And it's so this is that right hip. I just feel some sensation. Maybe it's scar tissue building up when I do that particular posture. All right, weight to that. What is my right, but it's your left foot. Weight to the left. Externally rotate that right leg or right hip. Kickstand version. Or taking that right foot, left ankle, left calf, or the inside of the left thigh. Same thing, other side. Pressing into that standing. For you would be your left heel. The left toe pads might lift just a smidge. Might see mine lifting, but then they immediately, within a second or two, they come back to the mat. But I've got that heel grounding. Yep. And I'm not dumping into this left hip. I've got a nice engagement, trying to get hip, knee, and ankle to stack. Heart opens. Gaze is steady. Breath is flowing like water. Thank you, Rolf. As we hold for 4. Nice. Steady as we go for 3. Strong trees still sway. For 2. All right, you guessed it. I'm drawing this right knee in for can opener. Ooh, making that adjustment. Hold for 3. A little balance. Breathing into that for 2. Now I'm extending this right leg long. Or somewhere. Low, medium, or high. Whatever the arms want to do as we hold for 4. Breathing steady into that for 3. Here's 2. Hello, quad. And then please relax. Maybe tap that out a bit. I like to make a light fist and just, for the glutes, quads. Maybe even down into the hamstrings, around the knees, shins, calves. Nice. Back to mountain. A little wardrobe reset. Breath in, breath out. So I'll join you back at the top of the mat. But actually, I'll face the camera. So this is so simple but profound, in my humble opinion. Lift the right heel, and then lower. Lift the left heel, and then lower. And let's just walk it in place. Yeah, it's just this nice roll. through the soles and the balls of the feet. Walking in place, going nowhere, but really helping the feet. Keep going for 4. There's 3, 2. All right, last one, you're back to mountain. All right, the variation here is up onto the tiptoes. So we're lifting up onto the tiptoes, arms by ears, and then we come into this shallow knee bend from the balls of the feet. So a little shallow knee bend. So think about wherever that feels comfortable in the balance on the balls of the feet. Yeah, so you'll start to fire up the quads. Arms are parallel to the floor. We'll hold for 3. Nice breathing steady into that for 2. That 1, let's rebend the knees. No, re-straighten the knees. Hands come down the sides. Okay, I like to press into the top of the toes. Maybe rotate that ankle. Think about isolating because I get that leg involved. Same here, Tom on the top of the right toes. You can get a little ankle rotation. Try not to let the whole leg get involved, but it's so hard for me because it's relatively new. Okay, back to mountain. Okay, minimizing that forward head tilt. We, in the dance world, releve, lifting the heels. And then maybe from a shallow knee bend to a deeper knee bend. So your body will tell you where we'd want to go from the balls of the feet. Relax the throat, relax the jaw. As low as you can go for the deep knee bend as we hold for 4. You guys breathing steady into that for 3. Hello, quads. Almost there for 2. Now on 1, re-straighten the legs. Heels back to the mat. Mountain pose. A little shimmy that out. Now I will join you at the top of the mat. Let's sweep the arms wide and high. Again, maybe a little back bend. You draw the hips forward, open up that chest, shine that beautiful heart, and then please let's swan dive. Flat back, forward fall. These fingers matter, palms to shins, half lift. Exhale, we're back to the fold. All right, I've got a deeper bend to my knees. I'm going to bring my palms and my fingertips to mat. Walk the feet back. Table. From table, lower to the right hip or the left hip. Swing the legs around front. Staff pose. Once again, to adjust the camera. From this position, this right foot slides inside the left thigh. Right foot slides inside that left thigh, maybe inside the left knee. Arms will lift, and we're going to cascade on the exhale over that left thigh. We'll call it one-legged forward fold. Please, let's walk the hands up the outstretched left leg. Okay, taking this right hand outside that right hip. I'm going to press into that right hand as I simultaneously start to lift, pressing into that right shin, right knee, and let this left arm lift. So we'll call it a little tiny back bend. You might draw right ear to right shoulder, a little teapot position as we hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now gently, let's lower the bum back to the mat. Re-straighten this right leg. Other side, left foot nestles inside that right thigh, right knee, arms will lift, and we're going to cascade over the right thigh. Hands come to the shins, maybe to the ankles, maybe to the foot. The elbows are flaring out. Let's draw the elbows in close to the outstretched right leg as we hold. Hello. Steady breath, go for 4. Breathing into that for 3. Almost there for 2. Now let's walk the hands up the outstretched right leg. Spine realize, left hip outside that left hand outside the left hip. Let's come up onto that left shin, left knee and float. Maybe left ear draws towards left shoulder as we hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now gently come back down. Oh, yeah. Left leg comes out to meet the right. Toes point. Fingertips reach. Make sure you've got room behind you, or we're going to begin our descent. And we're going to pause to right about here. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now I want to rise on up. All right, we got 3 more of those. Exhale, we'll go a little lower to right about here. Yeah, hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now I want to come back up. Okay, third time. We're going here, a little bit lower. Fellow core. Breathing into that for 3. Almost there for 2. A little shaking going on 1, rise all the way up. Okay, reset, make sure you got room behind you. Toes are continue to point, fingertips continue reaching. Let's just go as low as we can. Yep, let boat hover. Forearms to the mat is a great variation. Otherwise, we'll hold for 5. Nice. Breathing into that for 4. Soften the throat and the jaw for 3. Here we go. Almost there for 2. All right, on 1 lower all the way down. Relax the toes. Reach the arms overhead. Let's find that stretch. Maybe it's morning time for you. Maybe it's evening time. Give the fingers a wiggle, the ankles some movement, the wrists some rotation, toes to move. Okay, option now is to opposite hand to opposite elbow and crisscross applesauce with the legs. So opposite hand to opposite elbow, we have the head framed. We've got crisscross applesauce with the legs. When you do that, make a mental note of which shin or which ankle is in front. So maintain this bind. Let the legs feel heavy. Let those thighs feel heavy. Just relax the outer edges of the thighs towards the surface of the mat. Relax the shoulders. Relax the forearms. Let the arms just hang. Those with tight shoulders like myself, my forearms are floating. You might have your forearms meeting the mat. So whatever in this position works for you will hold. Check in with the breath, let it flow. If you'd like to introduce full, rich, and deep, it's a wonderful option. Okay, let's release. Let's revisit that stretch. The morning stretch. I call it morning stretch, but you can do it in the evening. So legs are forward, legs are long. Yeah, arms are overhead. Now let's revert. Let's take opposite hand to opposite elbow and redo the crisscross applesauce with the less dominant, the other shin, the other ankle. Once that's organized, just again, let the hips just get heavy. Outer thighs, I should say, just feeling it. How about into the shoulders, the shoulder head, the shoulder blades? Reintroduce that more diaphragmatic breath cycle that can feel really good. I hope for you guys on this journey. The exhales being that which the therapeutic tool to release that which no longer serves, the anger, the bitterness, the resentment, the procrastination. We'll hold for 4. Pretty steady into this for 3. Almost there for 2. All right, on 1, let's let go of the binds, both the legs and the arms. We're back to that long stretch. Inhale, lengthen a bit more, but as you exhale, let's draw both knees into the chest. Oh, yeah. For me to do so, I have to lift my shoulder blades to the back and off of the mat. Let's take the arms out like wings and just take the knees and float them from side to side. The knees go right, the gaze can go left, and vice versa. Go for 4. Here's 3. 2. That's 4. Come back to center, soles of feet on the mat. May feel comfortable to keep the knees bent. You might find butterfly pose to be nice and engaging or relaxing, or right ankle to the right corner mat, left ankle to the left corner mat. And we let go. In this supine position, simply let the front part of the body meld into the back part of the body, the back part of back part of the body meld into the mat. Feeling again that heaviness. A little bit of a kind of a balance between heaviness and lightness. As I reintroduce this inscription on the desk plaque of Dr. Bob Smith, humility is perpetual quietness of heart. It is to have no trouble. It is never to be fretted or vexed, irritable or sore, to wonder at nothing that is done to me, to feel nothing against me. It is to be at rest when nobody praises me and when I am blamed or despised. It is to have a blessed home in myself, where I can go in and shut the door and kneel to my Father in secret, where I can be at peace as in a deep sea of calmness when all around and about is seeming trouble. With complete support of your mat, floor, noting gravity doing its job. You know, we take it for granted all day, every day, but thank you, gravity. A few more moments, please. Take the right hand just to the belly button, the left hand on top of the right hand. So maybe you're at the belly button or maybe just below the belly button. So the right hand is to the mat, to the belly. Left hand is on top of the right hand on purpose, because now as the arms are kind of gently draping to the side of the body, let's reintroduce that diaphragmatic breath cycle. Belly expands, but so does the chest. Exhale, let go. Let's go a couple more times. Full, rich, and deep on the inhale. Feel the belly rise. Exhale, please. Let it go. One more time. Look the hands wherever they want to go. If they feel comfortable to stay there, absolutely. Next inhale draws the right knee in only. Let's give that right knee. That's the bind and canoper to the supine version. Ankle, a little rotation. Release the right leg long. Inhale, the left knee draws in. Left ankle, left leg is released long. Inhale, both knees come in. Most people are going to grab the shins. I got a few people that grab the fingertips around. I've got some that grab the hamstrings. Opportunity is to float to either your right side or left side. I'm going to come onto my right side. Let that arm come out as a bit of a cushion. A brief pause in this renewal posture. If it feels more comfortable to stay on your back, that's certainly an option. However, you want to then segue, transition to seated. I'm opting to bring this blanket underneath my bum, finding cross-legged with that slight support of that rolled up blanket. We're into a formal seated posture today, so see how this unfolds in this moment. A moment of reconnection, reassessment, rejuvenation, realignment. You know what a fan I am of the prefix RE. Relax the facial muscles, relax the throat, relax the jaw. We bring the hands back to the heart center. Maybe it is this idea of humility, perpetual quietness of heart. Whatever other mantra, whatever other intention, purpose, desire came to your mind at the early part of the session. Maybe it's coming to the mind about now. We close in that traditional fashion. Please know the divine light, the teacher, and the spirit that dwells within me, indeed with a bunch of gratitude. Hopefully a better understanding of this concept of humility bows to the divine light, to the teacher, and to the spirit within each of you guys. Namaste. Good job, DNR yoga folks. Till next time, questions, comments, feedback, please always reach out to me. Love you all. Be well. See you next week.